clear understanding of the projects and how the money is spent, expense, and so on, right? So we just won't leave you with a general financial report, but we'll go in depth, we'll go in details, right? So you have a clear understanding. So pay keen, close attention, and you can ask your questions afterward. Abna? Yeah. So start off from UIP. Good afternoon, residents. Like we just said, the financial report will be detail one, a general, detailed, and then we go into specifically different projects that or some residents have questions about and would like to have an update on how it was executed and the financial expenses we had. So I'll go back, starting back from July, August, September, October, and up to yesterday for November. Alright? Alright, so starting off with July, Village Treasury. For those who don't know or can't remember, we have three accounts, I would say. We have the Village Treasury, we have electrification, and we have water separately. Alright? So starting off, brought forward from June, $1,236,230. Engine would have brought $1,500. Land fee, $10,000. Visitors, $10,800. Private property pass, is the permit, $62,000. Tractor, $77,500. Total income, $161,800. Along with brought forward, $1,236,230 equals to $1,398,030. Expense: village work, labor, $12,500. Fuel for tractor, $18,200. Assistance to the residents, $47,080. Traveling allowance, $111,000. Snacks for village council, volunteers, $50,800. Guest house expenses, $127,500. Benab expenses, $200,950. Items for village council is stationery, $600. Accommodation for village council, $16,500. Monthly stipend, $5,000. Total expenditure, $620,130. Which leaves village treasury by the end of July with $777,900. Electrification, brought forward $83,740. Income, $531,225. Total brought forward $614,965. Expenditure: snacks for village council volunteers, $16,740. Assistance to residents, $22,000. Fuel for genset, $383,000. Transportation fuel, $70,500. Traveling allowance, $29,000. Monthly stipend, $36,000. Total expenditure, $557,240. Which leaves electrification with a balance of $57,725 only. Water. You going to speak? Everybody have the place to go in it? Okay. Okay. Alright. Water. Brought forward from water, $151,503. Income, $36,100. Total income, along with brought forward, $187,603. Expenditure: catering for village council, $30,460. Snacks for volunteers, $25,840. Assistance to residents, $25,000. Stationery, which is books and printing, $38,860. Traveling allowance, $19,000. Village work, labor, $5,000. Monthly stipend, $5,000. Total expenditure, $149,160. Which leaves water by the end of July with $38,443. Any question for July? No? private property pass, 125,000. Tractor, 36,000. COVID cash grant, 6,100,000. Booth, that is the heritage booth, 188,000. Residential grant 2022, 1,500,000. AWN land rental, 90,000. That's for 6 months. Pageant fundraiser, we have made 166,200. Total income allowance brought forward total to $9,077,300. Expenditure. Banana expenses, labor and material, $588,310. Tractor, $65,300. Traveling and meal allowance, $80,300. Catering for volunteers with this council, $25,000. Village work, labor, $32,150. Personal loan, $10,000. Guest house expenses, material and labor, $1,214,984. Purchase a 32-seater bus, a total of $4,700,000. Processing fee, traveling and meal allowance, $97,000. Pageant expenses, $149,540. Assistance to residents, $30,000. Sports washroom expense, material and transportation, $697,198. Items for village office, stationery, $6,600. Monthly stipend, $40,000. Fuel for bus, $10,000. Total expenditure, $7,746,382, which leaves village treasury by the end of August with $1,330,918. Alright? Electrification brought forward $57,725. Income $605,220. Total income $662,945. Expenditure: fuel $344,500. Transportation $77,000. Maintenance $57,761. Monthly stipend $54,000. And transfer volunteers $19,860. Total expenditure $553,121, which leaves the electrification by the end of August with $109,824. Water brought forward $38,443. Income $73,200. Total income $111,643. Expenditure: catering for village council $59,160. Monthly stipend $5,000. Stationery $600. Total expense $64,760, which leaves water with $46,883. Questions so far? Yeah.
We're going to go to the moon.
Alright, September. Please pay attention to this one here.
This one's important, right? This September.
September. Pay attention that this one had a lot of critics on the council. Pay attention. So September brought forward $1,330,918. Visitors, this is the normal that this is not included with the toll gate. Visitors, 30,500. Private property pass, 108,000. Tractor, 56,500. Again, we had another set of income from the booth, 137,000. Land, 5,000. Business, 2,000. Engine rental, 1,500. Heritage contributions from private donors and some government donors as well, 510,000. Indigenous indigenous drive, 175,000. Heritage toll gate along with the landing road, $1,100,000. $122,100. Where the toll gate, which is by the station, brought in $1,077,100, and the landing road $45,000. Right? That total to the $1,122,100. Total income $2,147,600. Total we brought forward equals to $3,478,518. Right? Expenditure. Indigenous drive. Everybody here knows the indigenous drive, right? The one that we had our residents dress up and they went and toured the top. So the 175 we got is basically went back on expense. Indigenous drive expense, 175,000. Meal allowance, traveling and transportation, 137,000. Personal loan, 40,000. Assistance to residents, 31,000. Snacks for volunteers, 93,500. Monthly stipend for rate collector, 24,000. Interfaith service, 9,600. Heritage game, this is meals, you have to provide meals for the officials, 10,500. Tractor driver and maintenance, 42,500. Bus driver and fuel, 25,000. Indigenous challenge, this is for the Queens, 49,300. Heritage expenses, $1,142,900. Guest house expense, $240,720. Benham expenses, $888,640. Miscellaneous expenses, $90,000. Total expense, $2,999,660. Leaves to be distributed by the end of September with $478,858. Questions so far?
So that 90,000 for spend for snacks or whatever.
This is what
Just for the month?
volunteer for the month, yeah. It was high in September because we had a lot of voluntary work done for the council at that time. Yeah. If you notice, the rest of the month was really, really low. Yeah.
Nash,
Yeah.
how much you made on Heritage Day?
The day itself, on the gate,
1.something million.
$1,120,000.
How much you spend on expenditure? 1.something again?
Yeah.
We spend more than we receive.
No, they're not.
Spend a little less than we receive.
Yeah. So when you check the contribution, which is 510 and the 1,122,000. Yeah, I'll give this report for Heritage separate just now. In detail.
Alright, the Benham work so far. I believe when we reach September, we have finished with what we have done with Benham so far. Because we do no work since then. I hear Alice has spent 578,000 and just mentioned that it's 800,000.
Yeah, so 3 months.
So you understand?
Over 3 months period, you get that?
Yeah.
So,
I
alright.
started late in July, work in August, and
So what you
most of
spend?
it is in September.
Alright, good.
It's a monthly report I'm reading here.
Yeah, so what he doing, this is because we came late, so he's giving a general financial report, and then for everybody to have a clear understanding, he's going to give project by project. For example, you'll go in details with the heritage, the heritage expense and income, in details with the Benham and the village kitchen, and the school kitchen, and also the guest house.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're going to go in details project by project when you finish the general financial report. So then you'll get clear understanding, you know, where we stand, how much you spend with Benham and so.
Alright, before, let me just leave that with us.
Right, yeah.
The stipend, only thing is stipend too.
You're starting to,
Every month here you say,
yeah, starting to social, treasurer, secretary, chairman for electrification, and the operator, and the rate collector as well.
So we're giving, with all due respect to Tushar, we're giving Tushar a stipend, the hour Tushar is getting from the ministry.
Yes.
How much?
We shall get in $20,000 per month.
Have these months been okay by the villagers?
The 2 showers before we receiving stipend.
Yeah, the act also stipulates this way.
Anyway.
The act also
I mean, of course, I mean, if it's there in the act of this regulation.
Yeah.
I mean, but the village should be notified this part.
Yes, they were all notified. I even had a question the first politician we haven't kept with the villagers. Well, it's obvious that all 2 shows would have been collecting stipend as they come in now and so on. So we as a council, we as a council will decide this and also let the public know this. Again, when he was driving the tractor, he used to drive it for free. And the residents asked why was that so? He said police pay 2 showers his money when he works on the tractor. So yeah, so we did brought this up in the parcel meeting, and it was okay. Yeah.
One question, President.
Yes.
I would like to know, you mentioned that the rate collector, which is we all know the rate collector, right?
Yeah.
Isn't the rate collector a CSO as well?
Yes, he's a
But
CSO.
isn't she collecting a monthly stipend from the government?
Right.
So
So-
council is paying her a separate one as well?
Separate, right.
So what happens is that she works on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Her pay sheet where we on permit just caters for Monday to Friday. So we give you a small stipend for Saturday, every Saturday.
So, but should we allocate one of those said days that she is supposed to work to do that? I mean, is that why the CSOs are here? For assist the resident? Should we, if you understand CSO works, public servants work Monday to Friday, that's true. But shouldn't we, if she's having a responsibility as CSO, which is one of her responsibilities, shouldn't she be working between one of those days and try to avoid her spend extra money on it? I mean, isn't what CSO that is doing? I don't want to make it sound like I'm taking out bread, as we normally call it, from anybody's mouth. But if we minimize spending, we can have actually more money for our projects or anything that we want to do.
How much is this?
$6,000.
And how much do we give her for that?
$6,000 per month.
For a month? It's not a thing, but it is not much, but they're already being paid for it already. I want this, just to be clear. I'm not.
Yes.
Just to be clear. Let me understand this whole thing with, we had banked on the village had banked on that. Heritage was it. Heritage is it for the year and we all came and we all had a wonderful time. We all expected that to be a booming event for the year. That was our expectation. With what we received and what we spent out, can you give us a difference in numbers there? How much we spent?
That mentioned just how you get to the just he's just given a general financial report. So you still got October?
Yeah,
When you finish October, then we'll go back in details. So you have a clear understanding the expenditure and how much would have remained from the income for heritage. Right? That is why we decided to go that route, because we know if we give a general financial report, a lot of questions will still be there within the ask. Right?
So then it's September, what you have like back in money? 400 something thousand?
Yeah, 478, 850. That's in treasury, yeah. Alright, moving on, electrification. Fast forward, $109,824. Income, $427,500. Total income brought forward, $537,324. Fuel, $444,000. Transportation, $76,500. Monthly stipend, $43,000. Maintenance, $21,420. Total expense, $584,920. which leaves electrification with a shortfall, negative $47,596. Negative. It's a shortfall. Alright?
No, that is so because a lot of residents did not pay at the end of September, so that is when we end up with that.
And it's continue. Well, it's going to get reported here, continue. Water. Brought forward $46,883. Income $46,100. Total income was brought forward $92,983. Maintenance $2,960. Stationery $26,950. Stipend $5,000. Total expense $4,910, which leaves water with $58,073 by the end of September. October. Brought forward from September to the Treasury $478,858. Tractor $83,000. Private property pass $2,000. Engine $4,500. Visitors $22,200. The bus would have generated $215,000 so far. Total income $356,700, along with brought forward $835,558. Expenditure. Personal loan $5,000. Traveling, transportation, that will be $78,000. Catering, stacks for village council and volunteers, $35,000, $40. Tractor, so we just do that, and I didn't add it. $48,000. Village work, labor, $29,000. Assistance to residents, $25,000. Reimbursement, $5,000, that's the boot. Bus expenses, $212,000. Fuel for village work, $17,500. Labor for guest house, $20,000. Total expenditure, $570,540. Which leaves for the treasury by the end of October with $265,018. Electrification. Again, we had a negative $47,596, which we owe to the treasury. Income $450,500. When we did no, sorry, let me just matter that I heard today. Yes. Total income $546,500. When we subtract that amount of $47,596, leaves the income to $499,504 because we have a negative. Fuel $331,000. Transportation $119,300. Maintenance $51,500. Monthly stipend $45,000. Which total expense $546,800, which leaves electrification with another $47,296 in the negative again, which is a shortfall. So this has been a continuous something in electrification recently. Water income $35,500. Total is brought forward $93,573. Expenditure, maintenance, we have $10,020, which leaves water with $83,553. November, so this November report is up to yesterday. Alright? Brought forward $265,018. Visitors $27,000. Tractor $68,000. Private property pass $40,000. Public Works Ministry income from that. That's for the road $1 million. NDIA, which is the the drainage and irrigation workers were paid $558,480. And Ministry of Education is for the weeding at the secondary school, which we did, $40,000. Total income, along with brought forward, $1,998,498. Expenditure, NDIA workers, which is for the labor, $547,313. Tractor, maintenance, drive and fuel, $78,400. Assistance to residents, $26,000. Catering for BC, $20,000. Weeding of school compound, $40,000. Traveling allowance, $5,000. Snacks, $10,000. Stationery, $5,170. Total expenditure, $731,883, which leaves village treasury yesterday with $1,266,615. Electrification brought forward negative $47,296. Income only $315,500 so far. Total $268,204, when $47,296 was subtracted from total income. Expense, fuel, $333,000, more than the income already. Transportation, $61,000. And you would have purchased, well, go down payment on electrical poles, $6,000. Total expense, $454,000, which leaves electrification with a massive shortfall of $185,796 in negative. Water income, $33,000, along with brought forward, total to $119,153 of the yesterday. That's for water. So that is a financial report for 4 months and a half. So now, like I promised, we'll go into project reports. So I'll give you a detailed report on realistic material, labor, transportation for the guest house, the Benab, the school kitchen, and heritage activities and the income and expenses.
Now, quick one, Peter.
Yes.
Let us get it at the end of November, the first week, right? Second? How much money we get in treasury?
Up to yesterday we got $1,266,650.
And the electricity stands at the negative still?
Yeah, massive 185,796.
Electricity minister, Deputy Bishop.
Just before we go into that, right? So far, $315,500 was the income. And fuel, just give you fuel cost so far, and it's only half of the month, I would say. We purchased $333,000 in fuel, which surpasses $315,000 by a large margin.
So we are 100 and something thousand in
That is
debt.
owed to the treasury.
So when we look at it half of the month, how are we gonna survive?
Exactly.
We are in debt. To show how did the council intend to deal with this coming on to Christmas? This is not 20,000. This is almost $200,000. We continue to receive electricity at regular, but we are working in the negative. Is it feasible? How do we intend to fix it? Are we looking at a surprise announcement coming December that we may have to cut back on hours to save some of the fuel? We gotta find a way to fix the situation, because as of October and November, people keeps on rising. How many residents
Now
are
you will find that during those 2 months, a lot of people didn't come and pay as usual how they normally come, right? So some of them, they're asking for a little extension, but from as this month end. No more extension, okay? Because we got to get who are not paying. Say if you're like 3 months in arrear, we'll come and take you up, because if you have 500 homes receiving and only 200 homes paying, just an example, right? We heading nowhere, okay? And we have to serve those people who are paying up the bills. They have some of them who are not paying, so we'll have to take them on. And at the same time, we have some new people who we are connecting. So if we take off some and some connect, I know we have some good people who want to connect, and we're going to connect them. That is why we purchased some more poles also. So this week we'll be going around and doing some connection. But those who are in arrears of over 3 months, by this month then to make sure if you don't pay, we're taking you off the bill. It's hard, but we have to make decisions, okay? We don't want to run bankrupt, we don't want to go below that.
Yeah, that makes it difficult for the council to subsidize the electricity body for the amount that we're losing. So I believe coming on from now until the end of the year, we should halt any expenditure that we may have. I mean, based on the severity and the conditions. So we need to ease up on expenditures and focus more on how to get fuel. Really looking forward to where's that going.
So what we doing right now, we putting together all the information from the electrification login book. We issue the letters this week here, so we give them a notice per month, and so because what happen as long as you cut portions off, the fuel will be less consumption.
I mean, it's harsh,
Right?
but
Yeah.
at this time, I think tough decisions gotta be made if we're gonna get the electricity back on the
But
street.
how things do operate in the electrification system is it's quick to recover. As long as you get portions to pay, you will recover it fast. In a week or two, you recover it fast. So as long as we act now, which is this weekend, we send out the letters, we definitely will be hoping to be on board, be back on track before the month is out.
How much fuel does a generator, or how much fuel do we buy to generate per month?
We use 13 drums.
13 drums.
The 13 drums,
And we see
Buy
one
the
for
drums.
We
the
use by 7.
so we buy 7, some we buy 8, and we get 4 free.
for free from the region.
That's
So-
correct, alright? 6,
We
sorry.
get 6 free, and we buy about 7 to 8, depends. If you sometimes we might run late.
So
Especially like for this holiday now, we want to give extra hours, so it would be nice if you can pass the word around, let people come and pay out, okay?
It doesn't be only way or else to keep on digging into the treasury. I think
Yeah, people would expect a whole night current electricity overnight.
exactly looking forward to the time.
So this weekend, persons they're expecting some letters to their doorstep or on their step.
Last year we were in a similar situation, close to the end of the year, where we had an outstanding over $2 million owed by residents. And I'm sure if you step in before, that was surpassed, so we'd be like, no, probably over $2 million, just speculating. Because our income was it's really low for the past 3 months, which we end up in this situation here.
I mean, if you develop payment plans to those persons that we have,
We tried.
we understand that right now inflation is still in our country right now, and for certain people it might not cutting off as easy, but then the entire country, the entire world right now is facing high inflation rates, and I mean, people like Mr. Mir and myself, even though we're very happy and so after the 8% increase that the government is offering us, I mean, it doesn't really do much when it comes to the rate of inflation in our country. So if you could create a payment plan for some of the residents and we insist on them paying it and give a warning system, a 1, 2, 3 warning system, and then we disconnect as final resort. I mean, I'm sure the residents is gonna put aside a little finances at the end of the month or whatever.
Because we were expecting that because a lot of persons would have built their booth and got their sales and so on, so we were expecting at the end of the same month, we would have find a lot of people coming and pay, but we find, I don't know, a lot of them spend rather than pay their bills, they actually spend to do and stuff. So it is very disappointing, though, but it is what it is. But again, we do work on a plan coming this week here, so hopefully again before the month is out, we back on track.
What the cost for dramaties and everything?
It's 56,000.
Level 5, sorry, 5.
That's 406,000.
It was actually it was
It was
something.
60.
It was 60, so it's down now.
Recently on to 250.
It always bothers me.
6,000.
It always bothers me to know that for so many years we've been doing electricity, and today we still can't look at a nice profit to sponsor to a child to go study, or it always bothers me as to how that is. And we need to create a plan and how to fix the system.
Yeah, to shed some light on that, electrification used to leave it by the end of the month at 300, 400,000 when we newly took over office. So it used to run like you got to buy fuel and have free current and so on. But as fuel price rise and keeps rising, we did not raise the rates. So because fuel, well, we used to pay $36,000 per gallon of fuel. So you see the difference from then to now. It's $56,000. We used to pay $65,000 per gallon of fuel at one time. So that I believe if we would have raised the rates, a lot of people wouldn't afford electricity to now. So the rates are the same, although prices would have gone sky high. We leave it the same.
Well, Mr. Lita suggested, I mean, it is true prices have gone up, but Mr. Lita suggested, I believe an excellent idea the last time I was at the meeting, where when we had a discussion with them to show about inflation and fuel prices, what she had suggested was that, we buy these fuel. The other day the government had announced that fuel prices are cut, and I think it went to the lowest it has ever been for the year. I mean, we should work to capitalize on those opportunities and buy and build a storage, so when the prices do drop, we buy instead of buying 1 drum or 2 drum or 3 drum. We know right now with what's happening in other parts of the world, as long as the war continues, the price is going to keep on fluctuating.
So the initial plan was when we came in, we saw we were making enough profit to say, look, better in the year out, we can give every house at the end of the village current. But then the rise of cost of living then would have went up, in no time. So the initial idea was we met with Sol, the gas distributor. We invited them into the community. We pitched the idea to them to build a storage barn here to store fuel, and they basically come and pull it up, and we pay them the necessary every month. But during the negotiation, that's when things went sky high and they pull out. So again, that idea that you have here is the initial idea we would have had to store fuel, but things went up so high, and the next option we would have gone with is to approach RU for Region 4, and he assists us with 2 more extra drums of fuel. So if he didn't give us 2 more extra drums of fuel, then probably we could have been somewhere more worse. So, but again, we just have to keep planning and on a way forward. As it stands, though, if we do have a system where of course we pay every month, and time will definitely be out of this year. But again, like I said, this is the intention.
Alright, so we'll start off with the guest house. So we had an income from COVID grant, 6,700,000, and recently we have asked the public for 1.5. When we look at the balance that was in the bank, we couldn't manage the 1.5. because we purchased the 32-seater bus, so that brought down the total to 1.3 million. So instead of 1.5, we used 1.3. So that totaled to $8 million in income for the guest house. Materials, so far, we have purchased materials that count to $4,791,487. Labor would have cost us $2,758,500. Transportation would have cost us $418,500. And miscellaneous expenses, the reading, the paying up and so on, $55,460. It's total to $8,023,947. Like mentioned before, I was audited for this project, where we would have expended over $6 million. I sat half in the office and this project was audited. So, because the resident did requested this. So this project has some auditing, but it's the balance of the money that the auditors will check on again when they come. So we will spend $8,023,947 so far on the guest house.
$4 million in materials.
Yeah, 4.791487.
And the rest $2 million.
Is that for the labor is 2.758500.
Labor.
Yeah.
You spent $8,200 something odd $1,000. And how much would we have to get to complete
There are materials on the ground
the building?
to continue the works.
Yeah, we talked about completing the building, not furnishing as yet.
No, not furnishing, not electrical installation.
How many rooms do you have, sir?
7.
47, self-contained.
All self-contained. Basically, the building, we thought that it had useful materials when we would have demolished the building. But we discovered that the roof itself, the zincs weren't good. The rafters, or basically the surrounding that was in the middle of it, was hollow. So all the materials that we thought that we would use back were all damaged.
We gotta change everything.
Everything. Even
What kind of water are we using?
pardon?
What kind of water are you guys using?
Now, some of it is Greenhard and some of it is a local cut material.
$8,200 something $1,000. How much to finish it?
8,023.
Yeah. How much you completed? How
Pardon?
much you completed the building, the structure itself?
How much to complete it?
Yeah, how much you estimated the contractor to do this?
There's furnishing and
No, we got a furnish separate.
To complete from now on,
Yeah, from now to complete the building as a building.
that needs to be assessed. It's basically labor cost we need to source to get this work done.
Yeah, because if you're gonna have to furnish 7 self-contained room, have you bought pallets and fitting and stuff like that? No?
It's plumbed already. The toilet is already installed. It's just to build trestle now. We have tanks already for it. So once we connect those things, the water will run in all the different rooms. Also for the toilets to flush.
So we have the contractor estimate how much it's gonna cost to furnish one room?
That needs to be assessed. Well, it was assessed. I don't have the information to give now for one room for the 7. But for the rest of the completion of the physical work on the building, it's basically labor cost now.
we do have the materials.
We do have the material.
Just labor cost.
Just labor cost,
And we'll be spending less than $1 million on labor?
$2,700,000.
Yeah, but we should be spending less than that now to complete what is here.
Way less than that.
Way less than that. And if we estimate a room to furnish with a bed and mattress and stuff like that, we don't, anybody do that. I don't know what is going to be the cheapest cost to furnish such a room. But if let me just put it at, let me just keep it price, take a $50,000 room, which is way cheap to furnish a room, you know.
Yeah,
But 7,535, we're going to $350,000 to do 7 rooms. And we're in debt $200,000 to the light charity, and we barely got $1.2 million in the bank. How are we intending to fund the rest of the project? See that we are out of cash.
Yeah, we're out. That's why $2,000
that when we started the project, material price was standard, right? That I think that is the issue really, the material price, the inflation, right? So when we started the project, we estimated that and it's in our proposal to ministry, that with the nearly 6 point something million, it would have completed everything and also build a separate building to have hammock stay and so on. But when it started, we probably had the first of the material, we bought it with the standard regular price, what we say is cheap then, right? But as time goes by, it would have doubled. If you paid 4,000 for a sheet of zinc then, the other month you had to pay like 8,000 and then it went up and it went up. So that is how come we end up this high. So we couldn't complete it.
Yeah.
So basically we started the project in the cheap times, the simplest form. And then as time goes by, we get more to the prices. So that is very important to note. It's not that we didn't estimate it and we didn't do a good estimation, but it's just that time when we started the project, we figured that 6 point something million would have completed and built the hammock stay building as well. But like I said, cost of living went up sky high as it is now. And probably persons who do construction would test it and understand what I'm saying, right? So that is how come we end up with this amount.
Yeah,
So it's not a case where we did poor estimation, but the cost of living would have catch us in the midst of the project.
That was a major factor because I can recall having the estimate done for tile and zinc where we used to pay $280 for a foot of zinc. When we go and we purchase the zinc, we have to pay $430.
Yeah, it's not accurate. I'm saying I'm using a reference.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know.
Right.
For instance,
the tile.
I'm just using a reference.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's exact. That
We
you're paying this
understand.
amount, but
I've been trained with use big points also. But to show you believe that was a very poor advice of department council. How can we keep on spending when we know that things have been doubling? We got a guest house that was estimated at $6 million. As what it's gonna complete, it's gonna cost us almost $10 million, if not over $10 million. How did the council intend to get $10 million? How long?
for me, I won't say it's poor on this council. We do have our intention and plans and how to get it done.
Yeah, but I think that when prices went up, I think we should have hard construction then. Why did you walk through the very high rate?
I think.
I mean, they said I think the person said, Nar said that the projects have no timeline to finish. So why did you rush through that period of an inflation high? It cost us $4 million more.
For me, and I don't know if I speak for everybody here, but I think that we still have to go through. Because if we stop at some point, we are already through, right? But I think if we could have been left half of this construction, then it could have been probably more terrible to say, look, the sponsor is not completing the project. But honestly though, we are committed. We are determined and committed to get it done. And I know the kind of work that is done there, it will definitely last a very, very long time. And the next two shovel comes in will definitely benefit from that, right? Because if you would be listing out our income, our sectors that bring in income, and it's basically property pass. And just a couple of weeks ago, we were fined 1 point something million, right? But fortunate for us, we now have the okay to go back and uplift property pass so the loggers can go back into business, right? So that's the only area we depend on. When that was done, things was wrong for the village council. I mean, in terms of our bills, in terms of getting things done in the community, right? So for me, I see that as something definitely will bear fruit in the near future.
It's gonna be, to show there's no doubt there's gonna be a revenue income stream for the village. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm bringing anything. I'm saying we spend way too much. I think the village made some poor decisions to continue construction when we should have halted if there was no timeline for the project and stick with our initial budget. As of course, when we know that in how the government works, that we for the year, if it's $100 million the government put in its budgetary allocation, we stick to that budget. Should the government want the next $100 million, they're gonna have to go back to Parliament and debate and get what we call an extra $7 million. Of course, gotta be okay. I mean, have the villagers been given the okay and then $4 million? If you ever brought it up to the residents. I mean, at the end of the day, this is gonna benefit the residents. This is gonna benefit them. I want them to understand this, not that we're picking up an issue, but if jobs are gonna be created, then we're gonna get jobs, the revenues are gonna be we're gonna get revenue, of course it's gonna benefit the residents. So, one of my concerns that when we know we stepped over $6 million, how we come back to the residents, okay, next $4 million?
If there was no 4 million, we just, I think it's just over $1 million, close to 2 million, we would have. 1.5 million.
These are just, to show, these are just some, I don't know if it fall directly under the construction of just the guest house, but I also work inside the Ministry of Army Affairs. I have friends all over. And I was informed by sources within the ministry is that parts were being paid to work. I don't know, like I said, I know this here, but this is clarity I want to fix up. One issue there was that parts were being paid a daily rate, as you normally pay people as they pay. But we were also providing snacks in terms of, are we providing snacks also? To these workers who are already being paid as they pay. Shouldn't when the person working for their pay, shouldn't they be working for their pay alone and providing snacks to themselves? $4,000 in snacks and stuff like that. Is that true? I hope not.
We would have suggested it and we did it a few days, but we noticed it wasn't feasible and we discontinued.
So we spent $4,000 now?
No, not far, not so much.
Alright. Also, they were saying that the village have been buying sand from the village itself. The village have we been buying sand from our own reservation.
You gotta pay people to fetch the sand.
How much?
You gotta pay people to fetch the sand.
You pay people to fetch
Yeah.
sand.
You basically pay the tractor for its service.
And
Yeah, no,
Is that what the village council?
or outsiders.
no, the village will build our projects. The build, whether it be our Benhab or whether it be our guest house, have we been, the village council been buying sand at the normal rate of I think it's $7,000 we pay for. Have you been paying $7,000 for the sand to build our guest house?
No, they well, so what you're saying is you're asking if we buy at the normal rate.
Buying
So
sand.
what we do, we pay the load man, which is 2 men, 3 men loaded. It's $2,000 per person because it didn't have the hydraulic damage. And we have to pay the driver. So we check it for a load, $1,500 for the driver for 1 load, right? And 2 loads now would be $4,000. So that's $5,500
$1,500.
for the driver for 1 load. That's what we pay the truck driver.
2 loaded $3,000.
And the load is $4,000, 2 loads man.
2 loaded.
Yeah. Is that what you pay residents?
Yeah.
That will be
All the
paid.
time.
So we mean, so these loaders have been separate person from the actual contractor?
Yeah, because you don't interfere when work is going on, take out the workmen and have them go and test sand and
That's part of the project.
yeah.
That's part of when you hire, give over the contract to somebody, you don't hire separate people to fulfill the contractor's job.
We never
I mean, maybe if we can get a project to build, they don't hire Courier or other company to, they take responsibility. I think the person who does the construction, I mean, the residents, I mean, it makes sound like you're looking at put it together.
let's just explain how the contracting works.
And how you want to term it as contract?
It was never a contract, right? They were all paid, they paid. So we basically had, well, myself used to oversee the project, used to go and ensure that work is done on a daily basis, and I never collected a dime from it. I did voluntarily, right? Yeah. If we were to have the workers leave their site to go and fetch a certain amount of sand, that would have taken away, building time. Having the actual building at a halt, when they do try to do other work, it would have cost us more than what we did. So it was analyzed. I even threw it out to them and listened to what they had to say. It will cost the council more because lesser work would have been done on the building when they would have been fighting up to get the sand and whatsoever. So if
why did we look at that? Making this whole project a contract instead of giving it the pay for 7, 6 years?
That would have been way beneficial to the people because if you take 2 years to build a building and you charge 1.5 million, that's on you, the contractor. So that would have been a way better route to go. But residents had an issue with it, giving out contract. They rather give different people they pay to go ahead with the project. So honestly, in the contracting business, in the real estate business and so on, it's done in contract. So that if you take longer to complete your project or your work, that's on you, that's on your expenses. You promised me this is what you paid, and this is our agreement, we stay with that. Cost you more, that's on you. So it would have been a plus if you would have given out a contract to build that guest house or any other project.
It would have been plus of the council?
Yeah, and the
Did you
residents,
save money?
it would have saved a lot.
So why didn't you go down there?
Like I said, the residents had an issue with it.
No, but we just can't sit down and just keep talking about millions of dollars that give us some change. I mean, that is the way to go when we use multi-million dollar contract, and that is the way we should be going forward.
Right.
I mean, it's disappointing to know that we are skylarking, or we're just sitting down and we're just giving out money and we're not.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
We need to start.
And that was the best route to go. I agree with that.
We need to start. That's what we need. You need to start. We need to start making contracts. Seek legal advice and give out these multi-million dollar contracts. Let us sign these things. And what we should be open to do also is that when we're thinking of projects, when we're thinking of Benab or a guest house or a road or whatever the case may be, when we're thinking of that, we should allow all our known contractors to come in and give us like what it does on a national scale, bid for these projects, so we analyze and see who's the cheapest, based on, and we give out those contracts based on experience. For example, I mean, I don't want to call a name, but like I said, I give Jackie, you gotta be fair when you're doing this, and you gotta be honest. I mean, the work that was done to the Benab, I don't think we should be giving out or considering giving out that magnitude or that scale of contracting the same person again. And that's what we should be doing, start allowing our contractors, whoever they might be, if it's Uncle Suraj or Uncle Warren or Uncle me or Uncle whoever the case is, let everybody come together and submit different times so we get these things done at cheaper rate instead of just coming up with $8 million. I think as a farmer we need to go when it comes to contracts. I mean, it's very disappointing to know that we squander off the money basically because we haven't started getting income from the guest house, and we're not going to get income from the guest house until it's completed, and we don't know when that is going to be. We hope that it's going to finish for next year Easter. Are we hoping it's going to finish by then?
Alright, well, like I said, I agree with you the contract part. However, the residents had an issue with it giving out contracts, which would have seen a positive impact on these contracts, right? But if we would have took the route to say, well, listen to the resident and go ahead, we would have been bombarded even more.
Yeah, we need to start getting trained in how to sell projects. The residents might not get it if you explain it one way, but if you show them and explain to them and you go down in details and you bring the expert on and stuff, they might understand that it's a process and this process is going to be more feasible and going to save them some money. Sometimes the residents, we rush and we decide because we get excited, we want to engine, we don't care if it's Yamaha or Suzuki, we want to engine, we spend 10 million, when you look around the field, you actually realize that there are alternatives to such an engine. and it's gonna cost us 8, so we just need to be more, I think, to teach ourselves more about marketing. But so far, I mean, the guest house, from my personal opinion, it's being built on some very poor decisions. It's being built on some very bad decisions. And I think that
Not about an argument or anything, but you also need to, well, the residents also need to consider the different factors that we would have encountered going through it every
I mean, of course, you take, that's what he said.
Yeah, the
Poor
cost,
advice, poor advice.
the back on the
Because if we
workers.
had known that the price for the zinc is gonna double, then what we should have done is stop the project altogether and wait for it to come down. Instead of continue building it, and it's still not ready.
Yeah. Even to the ICT hub, just give an example, the ICT hub which was managed by the Office of the Prime Minister. Even to the ICT hub, which was managed by the Office of the Prime Minister, they themselves were cautioned about what they were doing. They were afraid and they had to have us go through this project very fast because they noticed that price would start increasing. So they hurried to, we too, educate them about this. And so what, what you're talking makes sense, worry about yourself and let's get it done quickly. So they too, because it was a budget project, we couldn't get any more funding from them. So we had to do all we had to do to get it up. I even had some of the workers volunteer because we ran out of funds on that too.
So I know that from the $50 million from the COVID cash grants, I think $3 million allocated to the ICT.
1 million.
1 million because we have a building. Did we get any other assistance from the Prime Minister's office?
Yeah, 2.4 million. That was already
2.4 million.
Yeah, real to the public.
So 2.4 plus $1 million.
3.4.
$3.4 million give us what? The building was already there, so what did 3.4 million give us?
There was a description that we had to fulfill, which we fulfilled and it was passed. That's why the money was released.
We buy the cave, we buy the door, we buy the window. What else did we do?
The entire roof was taken off. The entire building was loosened up and so on. So those who are around.
Because I went in there and I think the surrounding really.
Yeah, your residents are free to go inside and see the building. With all those.
I think as much as you're saying it's a poor decision by the village council to do certain things, right? It's more poor on your part to just sit here and go visit the buildings, to have a good close look at the building to say, look, the building values the price. For example, we took Minister to the guest house because we know it's an issue. We see it on social media. We don't hide. So when she came here, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month back, when she came here, after she had a meeting with the village council, I said, Minister, I would like you to look at this building and give your assessment. She came, she said, oh, that's a fantastic idea because she's been hearing as well, so she wants to see herself. So we took her to the building, right? And then when we show her, Miss Amir is right there, we show her how the building did look first. How it looked, the materials and the height of the roofing and so on. We show her everything, right? And she said this is a perfect building. And when we told her the amount that we spent so far, she said, I wish to have that contractor work with me because with the cost of living, the inflation, the price is very cheap to build a building to how it is right now. The windows and everything else, if you go there and have a close look, I don't know, then I can take your suggestion.
I'm not basing my comment. I mean, if you listen to me, I'm not saying the work is poorly done. And I didn't mention it. I'm not sure say, I'm sure I did a good job. I mean,
yeah, we did explain to her that the same thing that.
I'm not basing my comment based on that. What I'm basing my comment is, did we get value for our money?
We can't answer if we get value, the building is not finished as it.
But have we been going down that line where is the council satisfied with the amount of money spent?
For me, when I heard the opinion of the minister, we gave her a breakdown on how this money was spent. and where the building was, when her answer, when she said, because they are in the business way before us. Even when we were going to school, they were already in the business, so they know the value. When you tell them a certain amount of money and they see the building instruction, the value, they will know the value. So when she relayed that, I felt more pleased because I was thinking, look, it does not value the money. So that is where I was asking myself, now and then, actually every day. But when she related that to me and to us then, and some counselors were there, I felt relief to know that look, minister look at the work, she take a look at the building how it was before, and then she gave her opinion. And she's a woman she when she speaks what she has to say. She don't hide and cover up. She says it as it is. So.
I usually.
Alright. So I have other reports to do. So do we move on?
Yeah.
Alright, so the Benab. We have the Benab total income for this project was between $1,164,000, whereby the Ministry of Natural Resources would have given the Village Council $1 million, and through Brenda also, Pakuri would have helped us to generate $164,000. So the expenses, we had a total expense of materials $684,950. Labor costs $950,750. That includes demolition of the building. Transportation $112,200. When I collect materials and so on from different areas. Total expense $1,747,900, which seen the village council put in $583,900, over $500,000 on this project.
Just to clarify the issue. The $1 million received from Minister Barrett for the Ministry of Natural Resources. I'm going to still stick with what I said the last time. Were we not promised $3 million to the Minister?
No,
You were promised what?
we made a $3.4 million estimate. That was basically to renovate the Benab, the YY style Benab. So we give him the estimates. He said we give $1 million. So it was not promised by him that we give him.
Initially he said when he came, he looked at the building. He said, "Look, I will give $1 million. You can do an estimate. Let me take a look at the estimate." So initially he promised $1 million, and that is what he would have given us. We did give him the estimate how much it will cost to complete it. So we were never promised $3 million.
Do you know when the process to finish it?
Pardon?
Do you know when the process to finish? Have we estimated that far?
To complete,
Yeah.
not as it, that have to be assessed as well. Works that need to be done to the roofing and the rest of money. So we have materials for the manifold and so on, like I said, handling, but it's just labor cost again. And a few leaves and so on for the roofing.
Yeah.
What is needed right now, from my assessment, is leaf to have all these holes patched properly. The roofing needs a little more reinforcement. When I say reinforcement, more to have the space really close. It's not sheet glass, but I would call it sheet glass because I don't want to. And the ridging needs to be fixed as well. We have materials like the manifold to have the surrounding complete doors and whatsoever, and labor costs. That's my assessment so far.
So we have materials on the ground. We have manifolds to complete the ridging. The gable line. We have materials to complete the gable line and to complete the manifold works there. It's basically to have labor costs and to get the roof fixed properly. So this week we are hoping to get some materials and some leads and so on to have the top of the building completed.
To show you where we plan to build this new building, what I expand with the council looking at for it for us, probably where to get it.
I think when we would have discussed, I think we spoke about that 3-4 years. And that is just to maintain the building top, not the actual manifold and so on, but just the changing of the leaves and so on.
We are changing my code in 3 years.
No, the manifold will be there for a very long time. We have no idea, right? But the leaf of the building, the leaves on the building is a lot more will be needed to
Alright. So what?
initially we wanted to put what the other one in? Where is
Taliban.
on the bone? Taliban. But when we did our estimate, it's just about 1.something million just to the top of the building. That's how we went and do it with
How much did you pay for the leaf?
$80 for one,
$80
So,
for a single leaf.
for one single leaf.
We looked at that person, because I had the same option to, I wanted to do my place in the same week, and I was told that I can get it for as little as $50 a week. Why haven't we?
Depends on the length of it. Yeah, the length.
It was currently the length.
Yeah, so 8 feet was $8 and 10 feet was $100. And we had to bargain real hard to get it, even 10 feet for $80. So that's where we stand with that. Alright. Again, I understand the situation with the canal. But as we go through projects, we find difficulties, we find challenges. Even as we walk through life, we don't expect it to go as planned. Yes, Auntie Amanda.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Village Council, good afternoon, resident. I just want to say something about those leaves,
We or that?
truly, how do you intend to, let's say, fix the leaves so that we cannot have leakage there? Because when I was there, because we had a troop, a dance troop there, and the rain fell and it was leaking. Now, to me, there is something very difficult than the Taliban. We had truly on our banner, and the same person, I noticed Rafi around, but I never asked Rafi nothing. But Rafi was the same person who helped us, and he said that the leaf was going to last 8 to 10 years, that he was born in and grew up in a house that has the truly leaf. So when we put down now, I could say we fought for it. When we put it down now, because we said it would have been cheaper, and we put it very close. By the end of going into the second year, we noticed a lot of holes on the banner, and that truly didn't last at all, so we had to change it. Going into 2 years, 3 years, the whole place of the banner started to leak. We had to change it to come back to Dalibana, although it was costly. And that was during COVID time. We had to really tie our we bond with them, yes, because not only that, we had we usually deal with iPad, and it was really, really hard sometimes to repay back that loan again to iPad, and then look after the roofing, so you could imagine what we went through. However, I can say by the grace of God, but by His help, He's always there. I'm a strong believer, and I can say thank God for helping us. That last year, December, we finished looking after, but we didn't do it like that. We did it piece, like quarter, until then it was completed. But this truly, I'm not, maybe the people who put it there, I don't want to comment about, let's say, make any kind of negative comment, you know, but I notice it's leaking, and when I pass, although I have my bed now, we're kind of private. I want to say that we still, I'm born here. I want to support the village council. We are always there, me and Uncle George, whenever, and I always say that when I go to the office, we are always there when we need a kind of help or support in it anyway. And when I go and I see this payment book, I pass through not because I'm inquisitive and say, I wonder how this thing will, the leaves would not.
It's your business. It's your business to check.
Yeah?
It is your business. The
Yes.
resident is.
How this thing will be fixed now because we try to fix our one and when we get right, everything falling off like that. So we have to turn to Daliban, whether we like it or not, we have to turn to that. Even one time I tell Josh, I don't think we could cope like with this thing, because the business slop a lot, we have to see by simply later on. So I said, so I don't know how the village will work on it intend to, because I noticed some of the leaves they tend to, we could get maybe the same guy or whoever. I think Uncle Willie is there. I was told that we built a lot, we can have Guyana Gold Fields, and they really have very good idea. He may not.
Who's the yours?
Uncle Willie.
Oh.
He may not. Well, he was a very good carpenter. He may not be the one to climb, but he has the ideas, of like assisting in the way. So maybe he and maybe one or two people help. And I was told that the thing need done my own when they come to me. So they would say, they don't have to do it, need done your own. But I don't say anything. Just leave it like that. Anyway, so that is I said about the dinner. So I have to see how they look around and see who could, do a very good job to the roof in there.
Alright, thanks Anthony. Thanks for your opinion. So let me move on. Alright.
Alright, kitchen. This is the school kitchen. Was built recently and completed before heritage. So we had a total income of 2.5 million, where Mr. Aziz Mohammed would have donated this money in 3 parts. He would have given us $1 million to start, $1 million more to come to continue, and a 500 to take the work to at least completion stage. So in order for us to have this money released to us, we had to ensure that our receipts or the amount that he gave before we could have received our update on asset of money. So that was done in 3 phases, and a total of 2.5 was donated. So the expenses, we had a material cost, $1,602,685. Labor costs, $736,500. Transportation, $151,000. Miscellaneous expense, $10,000. Total expenditure in the building, $2,500,185. However, we had some extra work that had to be done to complete the building, and that came up to a labor cost of $180,000, which Mr. Mohammed is set to pay to us. Alright? So if you check it, the amount will be $2,680,000. 1,180 is paid to the workers. So they are waiting for their money. Alright?
The 2.6 million is a gift to the village.
Pardon?
That's a gift to our village. Was that gifted to our village?
It's
Additional
2.5 we give so far. Right?
So our contribution is $1,100,000?
No, these workers are still waiting for their money. Yeah. So this money was not entered as stated in the previous public meeting before this project was started, before it commenced. We basically managed to work for Mr. Mohammed.
So, how much is given us? 2.5?
2.5, yeah. Up to date.
2.5. Very generous gift. We plan to receive thank you message. That's very good. And every year we went over that by $100,000. Right?
He would pay this one.
We will pay that.
Yeah, like I said, this is really, really cheap. Having a building mill at that stage of cost right now would be at 3.5 million.
So we did good with this one.
A lot of volunteering happened with the workers. Myself, I would like to thank Mr. Raghunath and his brother, what's his name? We call him Brad. Brahman, and a few others, my brother, my dad, so would have volunteered to get this work done in time. And of the way it is today. Yeah, Rahul, yeah. Not John. So you would have volunteered, you would have worked extra hours to get this work done. So like the time probably time. So when you see them, tell them, they come to time.
So when are we planning to open? Is it working already?
That depends on the school, the primary school and the normal school. They are to do their part. We provide the building for them.
I think when the class is the car, I think we should be able to work with one of the very good friends. We should give those who are there a class. Right? That is the spirit that usually gets work done in our village. That's what it is.
So the heritage zone.
Everything.
Alright, so income. We had donations from 3 persons so far. That total to 510,000. ARD, Mr. Danny Prasad, the guidance YouTuber, would have donated 200,000. Thank you to Mr. Danny. The Regional Democratic Council, RDC Region of 4, would have donated 210,000. Thank you to the RDC. And the Cuthbert would have donated 100,000. Thank you to the company Cuthbert. That total to 510,000. The booth total to 300.
The donations in total.
510,000.
510.
510, yeah. So I listed them, ARD,
Yeah.
Mr. Danny, 200K, the region, 210, and Superbeta, 100,000. The booth, 325,000, and the village toll gate, that is the main entrance and the landing, like mentioned earlier, $1,122,100. That total to $1,957,100. $1,957,100. Village income, heritage income. Expenditure, reparations, including snack, rental of chairs, printing of invitation, fuel, etc., and other expenses for preparation, $295,560. The security, which is the employees per day, the landing, the 2 days landing, the toll at the landing, and the village toll gate, the main toll gate came up to $180,500. The PA system, we have to beg for this one. We paid only $90,000. This would have cost us at least over $200,000, but thank you to social reason, we got it for $90,000. The band, Castro Brothers, $150,000. Transportation, $137,000. Materials, $141,840. Meals and accommodation, $40,400. Labor, $107,600. Other works for the heritage. Total to $1,142,900, which received heritage income, leaving with $814,200, which most of it went and paid the Benab labor days after heritage. So there you had 4 detailed reports of the different projects we have completed in the last 4 months.
So we get $800,000 in profit from heritage. Right, how much? Is that most of it went to PR?
Most of it went to pay the workers. The 583,900.
And you pay the worker for this, you put 800,000 in treasury,
So we put 800. 583 was deducted, 900 was deducted from that. So if we look at it,
what is deducted from 800
two something.
to pay workers?
Yeah.
So we, those people that were having good stuff, we send it in.
Oh, the Trump, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the games and stuff that was, the novelty games and stuff that was there.
So,
And then people were selling it.
we didn't manage just to catch 5 or 4 of them. So, what happened is the magnitude of the day, you know, we had so much to deal with, and we said every time we said we go in Johnson until when it's night, then we went, we just had 4 or 5.
So in general, we just get, we put 200 something thousand.
Yeah. So if you do the math, you see,
This is 200,000 in the treasury.
Initially, with the BENAB, we would have estimated 5 weeks to have the BENAB where it is, but we ended up to 2 months. So that 3 weeks is what would have taken away some of the profit for it. Because we didn't have any more money to pay them, and they were more kind of want to beat us for the money. So that's how they BENAB work.
I mean, to show. I mean, we prepared for heritage since independence of this year. We've been promoting heritage since independence. We know that, well, I know that we could have hauled in crowds that we've never hauled in this mission before.
Yeah.
Because they did a wonderful, I must congratulate the council on promoting an event. Should we have not put measures in place to deal with these things?
Yeah.
Like I say to Shaw, I mean, I don't want to be critical, but if Amanda, it's our business.
Yeah,
right?
it is hard.
I don't want to be critical to the council, but we have let me use 2 capital projects. Let me get 3 capital projects in our village. 2 of those are supposed to be revenue collections avenue for our village, which is supposed to be giving our treasury a good boost when it comes to revenue collection. So have we done those things and have we finished them in time? Given the fact with the pricing, the raising of prices, have we put plans in place? We should have been benefiting at least from those 2 projects. But I mean, on the negative side to show, we have 2 capital projects. Hartinghouse Million has not completed as yet. It has no intent. We don't know when it's going to complete because we don't have the money to complete it right now. So the Benab and the yes house is on a negative like electricity bill. And the kitchen is a gift to us. We are very thankful for that, but we hadn't intended somebody to give that to us if they are generous. And we had hoped that Heritage would have been it for this year. I mean, I hope that all the Heritage we could have simply buy something for a village, put 1 or 2 solar lights around the place or something, but poor management again has caused it not to be profitable. I don't think that's profitable. How are we failing in simple management positions? It's
Alright, so,
I'm gonna say not to be critical, but
yeah. It's hard. You share your honest opinion, so we respect that. So, honestly, for Heritage, yeah, just like you said, we were expecting like this Heritage will be, we will definitely, the way how we plan things, we would have planned that day, we really expected to go according to plan, but what would have happened, and this is important to know to our residents, we did 2-3 months before September, we did say, look, we want persons to come on board, we want to form a committee, we will set up dates for persons to come, persons to show up. Push back the dates for persons to come, persons to show up. So we had no other alternative but the village council to do what we can do. We did, it was already planned.
how many persons did we hire Heritage Day for the village?
ones at the gate were $15,000 today.
$15,000 a day.
Yeah. The ones at the landing road were 58. Michelle at the landing was 58. And the ushers in the thing was 58. So,
Okay, so we say amount of 15,000 there is security at the front.
yeah.
How many do you have at the front? 6?
Yeah, 6. That's my name. Yeah, they were the two.
The one that the police station they work a day and a half.
Yeah.
Friday they started to work.
Have we had an assessment of how many persons from outside came to our village itself? Have we monitored those situations? We haven't
We
monitored.
didn't at the.
Because we don't know how much person.
But we can get the amount for you though.
Yeah, so you see that's where we keep on getting at fault. I mean, our village is known about one of the biggest heritage celebration in all of that.
Yeah, but like I said, look, you
I
have
don't-
to understand that.
communities-
You have to understand that if we would have put together a committee, which person didn't come forward, we keep begging,
Tusha
we
was,
keep begging,
was council beyond head of this committee.
he's council in charge of culture, social coordination, so on, but there's so much that he can't function or work without the committee. We want the other person to come on board, if a person don't want to come, the person rather sit over there and criticize them over there. You don't want to come to cooperate with the council.
Three attempts was
We
made
did,
to
we did
call
3 attempts, we said
No one
date,
showed up.
somebody didn't come forward.
Tusha,
So basically, we just had to go through what we had to
Tusha,
do.
the work, at the end of the day, no one person can stall progress. When we think about progress and we think about development, we lead from the front. You have been doing a wonderful job at the front. I've seen you all over the place. I see you yesterday with men on the corpus, you've been fighting that cause. So we cannot, by no means necessary whatsoever. There should be no excuse for it. To let one person or a few persons stop progress. If you find that there's person not willing to find or to take the responsibility or want to be a part of it, then there are persons and there are means out there which we can hire. I mean, we know that every time the government goes a project, there are people within who are willing to come forward and help, but contracts, like I said again, we can seek those assistance. If you had tell me that we hired 3 or 4 outside from some private security firm to assist us, I've seen how I went to a few other communities for heritage. I've seen they had security services manning their gates and stuff. But when we just, like I said, we gotta stop this thing with saying that because persons don't want to come forward, we can't go nowhere, or because.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we did what we could have do, what we could have handled. Right? There's nobody showing the council is not, they're not showing lackadaisical attitude towards their portfolio. They're doing what they can do. Right? We did what we can do. We could have done then. Right? We just wanted to form a committee, a heritage committee. Means we invited persons to come. When the date reached, we have persons saying, look, I can't make it, I'm in Georgetown, so I would say I can't make it because of different reasons. But I'm not saying we didn't do anything. We did what we could have done in our hands. But the truth of the matter is, the team that we assembled to have the heritage pull off, it was too limited. And yeah, we accept that, we could have done better with more hands, with more persons coming forward and cooperate, right? all of them work, they try their best to do what they can do, but the magnitude of the data is why we know that it could have been this big. But a planning committee could have make it the work better, more organized, more better, right? And we accept, we are arguing the point about the Bena, we accept that it's not being done how we would have planned, to get it done. We accept that. We know we went past 3 weeks over its time as well. So at no point we are saying, look, we are not taking blame for anything. We accept that. Since the last meeting before this, we accepted about the Bena.
Yeah, you sure what? But, well, I just don't get it.
From my point of view, I think for all the other administrations, they always have a heritage committee body. And by our right, I think beyond alone should not handle that. Yep, I know that.
I would like to say something. Well, we didn't have to show councillors and villagers again, but then that is not the end of everything.
Right.
When is your next public meeting?
The end of, then
November.
it could be mid-part of February. 2 months from now will be mid-part of February.
What would show them is something? We know that we're supposed to meet every 3 months, but then when you have to meet with the people, it could be like every month or every 2 months when you want to meet with villagers. I'm trying to suggest something there now. How about when there is another meeting, because we have St. Patrick's Day 2023, March, if a committee can be formed, a heritage committee and a standing one, not only for this village council, maybe if you get another term, then 2, or something that would be there. Because I feel that this is what keeps our how do I put it? I don't want to say keep our village down. This is a negative impact on the village then, that we have to keep changing all the time. So
It's not nice practice. It's not nice practice.
yes.
Yeah.
So before March, if a committee can be formed, a standing one, when there is a meeting, because I feel that it's only at a public meeting. If you just call a meeting for people to come and those who would want to be on board for the cultural to be in the committee, they will not. So you have to use that opportunity and ask people then who want to be in the heritage committee. So we have a couple of months there. We could make a start. The village council can make a start and see how many people try and have interest in.
Yes. Because I think that we had in August, I think it was month of July, we had our last public meeting where we emphasized on it over and over. We really want the planning the heritage committee to be formed. And a date was given that same time as well, and then we planned to have it in the month. And now Dion wasn't left alone, or we wasn't given the responsibility. All of us were on board and trying to get everything organized. But like they said, we just wanted more hands. It's not the excuse, but it's the reality, right? It's not the excuse, right? But like you rightly mentioned, you mentioned rightly, going forward, we know where we went wrong, and we definitely will work. We already spoke about it as a council and said, you know what, we will do things better going forward in terms of organizing these major events.
Because I'm sure 2023 the birthday would be a big one too. We got to all of us there together with the villagers and village council to get this thing going then, not at the last when we near, to reach March then. But now we have to try and make a start. And the other thing is, I was listening to the report, financial report, where NDIA workers get paid. Who are these workers? Is it the workers who did the train, or the train, or the one? So I thought, well, I thought that the government, the ministry would pay the workers. I didn't know that it was.
Alright, good. So the contract with NDIA, it's been signed by the village council.
Okay.
So as long as it's signed with the village council, that means the check comes into the village council meeting.
Okay.
So we basically change the check. I want to comment, any check comes in the village council name, we have to enter it inside Avalanche. So the check is been written in the village council name because we are the ones who will be contracted for that.
Okay.
Right.
So one last thing. I'm pleased to hear that the village council would issue notice to defaulters who to the electrification to that program, because I was kind of a little upset, but not like to that extent where I really wouldn't support village council. We already paid now. It wasn't issued a notice, and one of the fellow gone and just disconnect the light. So I was looking and I said, I wonder what is going on then. So I went across and find out. I came across the report and asked, how is it that he disconnect certain person light? And he said that is what the person in charge of the light told him who he has to disconnect. I said, what about notices? He said he doesn't know about that. Probably I could go to the office and find out. So I went over to the other person's house that was disconnected. If he was issued with a notice that he ought to pay, he or she ought to pay, and they said nothing. And I said, on that part, I said, people should be issued a notice, because look, GPL, when GPL got to disconnect, you hear it on the radio and TV and whatever. So I'm happy about this, that you have put things in place, which is something very good, because at least if I go, you let me know when I can pay, not just come and disconnect like that without giving me a week or 2 weeks notice or whatever.
That happened during our time?
Yes.
You could say you know anybody.
Yes. But I
everybody
don't
was
want to
just-
cause anything. I'm just
You
ready
can
to
tell me afterwards.
Yes.
Because we don't want somebody to go around and disconnect and then they have been given their okay.
Yes.
Okay, or say, or you can message me on WhatsApp, you can see it be online a lot.
The last time we disconnected, we sent out letters. 2 weeks notice we gave everybody who
That was anytime recent or in the
It's during the year, but I left here.
Alright, you can discuss that. So we did make the profit, and I think this is very unprecedented as well. I think I don't want to. I'm not getting at anybody with any previous administration, but I think a heritage report was never given, or I don't know when last we would have had a heritage report in terms of how much you make on the road, the expenses. We basically just hear about how much we make, and we have to know where the money usually goes. So that is why we really wanted more persons to be here. And it's first time I think the village council or the village would have made over $1 million on the road and at the gate. So and then we came out with I think 800,000 profit, but then part of that had to go to the banana, right? But we still have some 200 something thousand if I don't know the correct figure, but we still had some this went back into the treasury. Right? Any other questions? With the like I mentioned earlier, with the forestry issue, we resolved it up to a certain point. But it was yet for us to know if it's been waived, but we'll be given okay to operate the property fast. Right? So that's a good thing for us.
What is it?
So the issue was we had residents, Salmon, reusing GPS coordinates to move their load as we may put it, right? So they've been reusing GPS coordinates, which is illegal with forestry or prohibited them. So we had meetings when we did it the first time. We had a meeting, and we were warned then, and we said that we will be fined, and then we continued to do it, and now we're fined. But then we had our third meeting, and we will put in place some measures in terms of fine, and we will do it. If we catch you doing it, we will definitely. So we set up some measures to deal with that.
How do we intend to catch the people who do this?
It shows in forestry. There's a system in forestry that shows when somebody do it, it would pop up and they will let us know.
What they did recently develop a database. So when I enter that, it shows up.
So they shared it with us, so we know all the persons who did it.
GMC do something similar to it, so we know exactly who we call.
Yeah.
Approximation, how many active loggers do we have in our registration? Their description.
I think when we did the registration was 19, 20, 19, somewhere around about.
And how much was this sued by forestry? Or
I think it's somewhere around what the same figure. I think it's 20 or 21%. Most of them who do the lumber work in the community would have been fine, except I think for 2 persons.
and how many, sure, you see, where natural resources is concerned, and it deals with I'm bringing communities who have natural, whether it be gold, diamond, lumbering, whatever the case is. A procedure to follow when we're dealing with these resources is that somebody from the council is normally given the task of looking into these natural resources. You need to, within the council, get a ranger.
Yeah.
And I should say that when we get in a ranger, we should not look forward to a stipend, but we all know that when we take this position, it's a voluntary position. We cannot keep on extending. This is a part of the job. This is the job. This is the job. And when we get a ranger to go around and provide all the assistance to go around, because it looks terrible in our village.
It's a voluntary position as well, but you have to keep in mind also the America would have stated, look, if the village do have enough resource that generates fund, the village council as it can be given a stipend, with the okay of the residents as well, but we do not have the resource to do so. So, yeah, so it's more mandated to the village council to volunteer at all times. In our case, because we do not have that resource that is generating income to that extent. Yeah.
I want to add, with these chainsaw operators, or should I say loggers, they need some sort of training as well, in-house training, people who know about that. And I'm not boasting about Mr. Mahadio. Mr. Mahadio is a trained forester from the age of 19. And he may not be able to, he would need a help to just walk in the forest, but he could do some sort of training with people who need it. I'm only saying that he's always there, he's always willing, because because we spoke to, well, me and the one who let talk, right? And I bring it up to the previous village councillors, and I said, when you all need help, even me or Josh or whoever, we're there. And although we told them that nobody never came forward, but Josh worked all his years in the forest.
So you think he's willing to assist us in that area? Because when we had our last meeting with the owners, operators, we discussed the same thing on seeking training and so on for them, which they already had one already. Just over 2 months ago, they had it for us training, and we hoping to have more of these training for them. But you want to discuss it with him and probably see if he'll be on board with us.
Yeah, I can discuss it.
Because our intention is to approach and discipline Ken as well, to have some guidance as well and support from him as well, which he would have committed before he went to work.
Yes, I can have him, but I know where he really knows his stuff. I can tell you that.
Any other recommendation, suggestion, opinion? We can do good with some advice. We can how we want the village council to operate. Going forward, we can take some of that as well, and then we'll close it.
Good afternoon, President. I just want to highlight some reasons. I know how many there. And Tushar, I just want to ask one question. Whenever tourists comes on, like I notice weekdays, like Saturday and Sunday, are there people to take a little money from them to enter into our village? That's one main thing. I know long time before now it used to happen, and nothing is like happening like that because there are frequently people, even motorbike people, for whatever reason. I know they say most likely vehicle is from tourists and people up to night. I feel that it could be one to bring a little revenue might be bigger, but it can help in some area. That's all.
Yeah, so when person do come, they come for the very first time, we educate them about the system that we do have. So we have it, most persons do come now. When they come between Monday to Saturday, they would go directly or straight into the office. When he gave his financial report, you would hear he said visitors or tourist sector visitors, he mentioned a fee. Sometimes it's 70,000, 60,000 we would receive. So we definitely have a system, but it's just for us now to have a more proactive system in terms of catching everybody. Because if 10 person comes for this week, we catch 8 of them.
So what about putting a little toll gate or something to catch everybody?
So that's what I mean when I say we want to be more proactive in that area, right? So we will be discussing a way forward in terms of that because honestly, truly, I see us picking up back after August now, right? As I see the village council, we are picking up back in terms of getting ourselves more organized. So we definitely want to really push tourism in this new year. So definitely that will definitely be on our agenda for next statutory meeting and see how we can set up a system in that regard. Yeah.
Teacher, can you shed a little light on our crafts exercise? Anything about craft?
Wonderful. Thanks. So, good news for the craft people. Thanks.
Yeah, before you close here, Tushar, I'd like to ask the opportunity.
Let me deal with your question first and then we come to you, right? Yeah, let me deal with you first. Not my complaint. So we have this investor came in, some staff from the ministry, well, the office of the minister would have called me then and told me that they do have an investor here that is interested in doing handicraft business with Amerindian and Amerindian community. And they asked, do you want to have the forest jump, or do you want the person to visit the village to have a look at what is happening? And I said, sure, of course, no problem. So the person did came, we did have a discussion with a few counselors, I think, and the reps from the craft sector, right? So the individual is looking for bulk product or produce, right? It's not one sweetie bowl, two sweetie bowls. She's looking for bulk to ship, to export. Alright? So, I did mention to them that I will take some advice from the village council and from the villagers, and also take some guidance and help also from the legal advisor from the Ministry of Family Affairs, because if we go down that line, then we'll have to, have contracts put together, and we'll definitely need, we have payments. The payment area is something that we really have to be careful about how we go about doing that. Alright, so she came, she's interested, she loves what she sees, what she would have seen inside the craft building or in the village office, because we have packed out there because we had a workshop just at the other building. So she's basically looking for the big stuff, the big 8-inch, 10-inch, and these big bowls. Right? And again, she's looking to do it in bulk and on a contract basis. Alright, so that's where we stand in terms of that. If you, I know it's not much of us, but if you think you can go ahead and have a discussion with the council and the legal advice from the Ministry of Affairs, then probably you can say yes, or if you disagree with us going forward and having this discussion, then we will let her know the residence is not up for it. Right?
Yeah, Mr.
Just let me deal this part. We're waiting for the response. So you think you guys think it's a good idea?
Yes, a good idea.
What happens is that, so what happened is that she wants to do an honest contract. Well, every investor would say that they want to do an honest contract. Right? That's why I told her I will look for advice from the Ministry of Family Affairs in terms of putting together that contract. Right? But it's definitely something I think will get the ladies back, especially active, occupy your time and putting together, craft something put together, and you basically push it off. Alright? So, until I time to bring it up, because we have to get back to the individuals and to know that, look, the residents, they are interested and So is it a good,
She was here. She don't be the country.
yeah.
It's a good idea to me. I think it's a very, very good idea. Just to get to work and
Craft ladies, craft men. It's like bulk, so she's looking to ship like a container load of stuff. Every 3 months, I think, something like that.
once the price is right,
so she said, look, if we are interested, she will do our forest shipment in the month of March, or in the month of March, for starting next year. So she gives us enough time to think about it and to get our materials up. Right? All right. Yes, yes.
Oh yeah, just to ask, about the tractor operating, I'd like to know how it works really, if you have to pay or how much you have to pay for
Tractor operator?
acre.
For plowing? All right. So we had
Plowing or
this.
reaching or whatever.
So we had a discussion with the farmers committee, agriculture group.
No, because...
No, I'm saying we had a discussion with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we had a discussion with them, and they mentioned to me that they have, I think, 30 active members who make their monthly contribution, right? So what they were saying is that with the active persons who pay the monthly contribution, an agreement can happen between the active person and the group, whereas they stand the expense, or they stand half the expense, and the village don't stand half the expense, so that active person do benefit from the plowing and so on. But those persons who are not part of the agri group, then you will have to basically do a rental for the tractor, so that the discounts can pay the driver and for its service as well. Right? We haven't come to an agreement in terms of pricing as yet, but it won't be nothing big and as much where it will be that expensive. Right? So let's do everything. It will be very minimal though. We just basically want to cover probably the fuel costs and the driver costs, and that's similar probably to the sun. We just basically cover the driver and the fuel and the little left for the service of the truck, the maintenance. Right? But I doubt whether it will be 6,000, 7,000 or 8,000. It will be more or less than that.
Okay, because I think I have enough for a week of them without having to get up for a week again. And she was...
Or probably right around the area. We will definitely do it the car and the vehicles, charge the car and the vehicles. Right?
I know they did planting, she planted over about 2 years when they suffer one way. After planting, instead of go over, one side.
Well, we're doing alright, yeah, go ahead.
Plowing is there transported. Pensioners,
No, we discussed pensioners price and our plowing as well. Yeah, something to think of. We'll think about this and we'll say that. It will be similar to the price, similar, probably a bit $1,000 more or less than the sun for a vehicle. So the CSOs again and some councils have been distributing meals. There's some meals into the office, so if you do expect a meal or anything, you can also go and check it into the job. This time we make a box and it's not, we don't want anybody to move. Nobody's allowed to move the meal box from where it is now. Right? So very quickly, well, we made the executive deal right now. But anyway, quickly, we do have vacancy for 2 counselors. So we'll be working with DRU with the 4 to fill that position, that gap. So the 2 persons in line with numbers will fill that gap very soon. So don't be surprised when you hear 2 counselors in that position.
Who did we lose?
We have Martil and Edwin Clinton. Edwin Clinton. Right.
Do we still have the estimator?
Yes, sir. We still have the estimator. Yeah,
What's the
Rob.
purpose of the estimated future?
The estimator really came to, for the purpose of drainage, not irrigation, because the irrigation is, well, I use it as drainage and irrigation.
The agriculture?
Well, that's all part of the purpose, that's all part of drainage and irrigation comes on
The
there.
estimate beneficial to the agriculture?
Yes,
I think the individual that is managing the estimator needs to basically
cooperate more.
cooperate more, yes.
Noted, Raul, noted, yeah.
We had a issue of clearing land for the agriculture people. There was a big issue to get the estimator from there to go and clear the land.
Yeah, Raul, thanks. Thanks. We make a note there because we had complaints already in the city.
Not everything that is advised or explained to the individual, because if we are custody, another assistance will be a conflict of interest.
Good. Noted, Raul. Yeah, at the end.
I wonder they would be inviting me to give me a break.
I think it's your direction they come in actually. Right? But one of the hose damaged and they're waiting for the hose. Ask the questions so we answer them right. Yeah, we had a meeting, we discussed. Alright, we can discuss that with this council meeting again. Right? Yeah, actually everybody knows, so a resident don't complain, we have no course before the meeting, I also will complain. So,
How long are we expecting, how long is it that we're expecting to get the estimation for the meeting?
Initially it was here for I think it was 6 months and then we signed I think 2 extensions so far, so they basically saying that if you wanted to stay longer you basically request. And I think same thing would have applied to the grade as well, but we're going to make a request this weekend for it to be back in the village, but it's in another region I think at the moment.
Michelle, from what you said, that this is the last meeting of the year. We did it until next year again. I'm very much interested in how many donations in total from private investors, for example, the Mohammeds, have the council received for this year?
Good question. You speaking about NGOs, non-government organizations?
Any donation whatsoever. Donation in general from whether it be Mohammed, whether it be, maybe talking about some YouTube guy.
Yeah, let me ask you because Minister Vikrambar did a donation. So
we excluding government.
yeah, there's no action, there is government organization, non-organization.
Yeah, he's not around.
I think there's a good point. I will ask Avinash to start set up a report on a every 3-month basis on that same line as well. So we will have a clear idea who contributed for this space of 3 months. But we'll definitely go back and take a look at the donation, and probably in the next public meeting we can give the public a clear understanding, explanation of donors or the contribution. But good point. And we noted that we will make a separate report on this evening. It's not hard to track or follow because every donation in terms of finance, we would document it inside our yeah, no. Good question. On our next statutory meeting, we will be discussing all of these things are on our agenda for next statutory meeting. But we do have to sit and discuss the same thing. That's very important. So when that is being put together, we will have some flyers and so on in the community. So we will also write the shop owners and these persons who big music. Let them know that this is the guideline in terms of the holidays as well. And I see our sergeant, my good friend is at the back, and he's very cooperative. I think these are a huge round of applause for his great work he's doing in this community. I saw just a few days ago they had an awareness program, workshop, sorry. Yeah. And I think this is what's been lacking. Or we have been limited of these sorts of workshops and programs and so on. And then we had one in the secondary school as well where we had most females who have attended that and gender equality workshop. Alright, so more of these programs and so on will be coming aboard next year. We have one scheduled for January. But Sarge, when I saw Sarge, I jumped a bit in my seat because I was expecting the commander to be at this meeting, nevertheless. Alright, yeah. But really and truly though, Norris, to answer your question, that is where we stand, we definitely will discuss that. From the village council perspective, we are learning as we go. We are learning from mistakes, so we are just, trying to be better as the days go by. And again, when you share your honest opinion, it will, motivate us. We don't see that as an obstacle in that sense, but we basically want your honest opinion, your recommendation, your advice as well, and that will definitely guide us because we will know this is what the village needs, or this is how they want us to operate and so on. Alright? Quickly, before we close, just keep in mind, we have been depending on donors, sponsors, alright? So, recently we have been having a lot of stuff on social media, and we would have noticed that some of our donors would have pulled out because of some views and opinions on social media with this council and their incompetence and so on. Right? So we have a few persons pulling away from the village council in terms of contributing to the village. Alright? So it's important for you to note that we respect your views and opinion here. Alright? If you do that on social media, then it's not damaging our reputation, it's not damaging the village council reputation, it's damaging the image of the village. Alright? So, little do you know you want to get to the village council, you're damaging the reputation, the image of the village. Alright? Let us deal with our issues here. Alright? Because we know this, and we have been fortunate. The sports club teams have been fortunate to be benefiting from these donors, these sponsors. For example, when we went out to the Heritage Games, we didn't have no accommodation. we had no transportation, but because of the good relationship we built with business owners out there, they said, look, bring your team and we're going to pay the hotel bill, the meals bill, the transportation bill, and basically the ministry basically reimburse that for us. And there are few parts you would find trust to do those things with you. But when you do those things on social media, then you're just building a bad relationship. You are doing the village more harm than good. I mean, some people might think that, look, I'm doing a good thing, I'm exposing and I'm doing this and I'm getting to this person and so on, but you're damaging the image, the reputation of the village. And let me say this, as the two shop of this village, let me say this, and this goes to the next two shop, the next two shop, the next two shop. Our village does not need an opposition group. We are too small. We need togetherness, we need to work together, and I enjoy this meeting because we shared our honest opinion. Our honest opinion, and this is the only way I believe we will go forward. That we share our honest opinion. We feel good. We don't want, we don't just want to sit here and feel comfortable. We want us to sit to show. We don't like this. We don't like that. I think this is how we should do things. But if you go on social media, then you're just damaging relationships. So for me, I believe that we just we don't need opposition in communities. And I've been saying this, any other village I go to, I'm in communities. And we had a team came here from NTC, right? And we are putting together a village sustainable plan. It is very important, which we don't have at the moment. We never had a village improvement plan. Now they are basically guiding us through that process, and I want to thank those persons who showed up. I was part of that. It's a four-phase process, right? So when it's finished, the village will have a village sustainable plan for the next 10 years. So the next two shall will benefit from that document, the other two shall benefit from that document, the other two shall benefit from that document. What they can do, they can add on it. As they come in, they can add more, their vision to that document. Alright? So that what we had this past week is unprecedented, it's very historical, and I'm so proud of those persons, and I was really impressed with the young people who showed up and shared their 10 years vision. I was really impressed, and I think Auntie Amanda was impressed, and those persons there as well. Alright? And going forward, we still have 3 more to do. And we will invite persons again to come and be a part of it because we want more persons to be a part, more elders, more permanent residents who have the village at heart. Alright? So, that is what I want to
continue. For the people that post online, I'm a regular poster. I wouldn't deny it, I accept the fact that I post a lot on social media. And I mean, Ronald is right now streaming online. Are you streaming Ronald?
Not live.
We're not streaming live. But he's going to make it available. Public information to share. These loans in our village and projects we do with money given to us, we keep emphasizing, these are taxpayers' dollars. And these, when taxpayer dollars come to our main communities, and things are not done accordingly, I feel the right that we need to talk about it. And sometimes, let me admit, I've been critical of the council decisions. And I've been critical of the fact that we've been raising these issues time and time again. But the council seems not to listen, but take advice from a few persons who have ultimated their own. They have their own ideas in hand how to deal with certain issues in this village. I've went to Kushar, spoke to Kushar before, and I told him that several times. One time I think I told you, Kush, that I have no personal issue with moving. I have my cousin up here, I have my aunt somewhere, I have relatives up here. These issues are not personal issues. These are issues that concern every resident, so when mismanagement or when things are not done accordingly, we think we have the right to hear those opinions. Let me say that it comes to a part where you said that we're scaring off your going. Criticism from public are always here when you're in public office. We face them every single time. I face them as an officer in the field. People always come and talk to me and say, oh, this taking writing, whatever it is. I face those. But as a public servant, your job is to give clarity on issues so you build those investors' confidence. Criticisms are not meant to, when every time I post online or something, I mean, I normally get back a stunning feedback every time in the same tune. The candidate who didn't win. I keep hearing it over and over again. We need to be mature and understand that public office is not a private entity, it's a public. And you're going to get criticism one way or the other. And your job is to build confidence of the investors. I would not ever discourage anybody from posting their personal views on any social media site, because at the end of the day, it's your job as a official to ensure that our investors are secure. If I raise criticism about it then out, it's your job, like all the accountants, all the national. Your job is to give clarity on the issues and answers that are asked and give the answer. I mean, I find it very disheartening to know that when criticism are taken, you jump on a personal attack. We need to desist from doing that. Freedom of expression, freedom of speech is one of the most fundamental things any individual. Any individual can do that. I think you should be even happier that for some person then, like myself, I say things from my Facebook and I don't identify people. Because I believe the issues are real. I believe that they're genuine issues in our community that needs to be fixed and needs to be addressed. And sometimes I reach out to you to show them about these things, but then when I get to Facebook posts, that is totally opposite.
Alright,
So, like I said, I won't be, I don't think that you should be encouraging or discouraging or supporting the lane. But what you should be able to do is when those criticisms are raised, or when those points or questions are answered, our council should be in a position to answer those things. Let me ask just now, how many money we made from the market? We shouldn't have to go back into the record for that. This is the last meeting for the year. We're finishing the last meeting for the year on the next year deficit. It's not very good news.
well, if you listen to me carefully, like I said, look, we can discuss these things here. We are not on the post. We are not the post. But I understand that criticism don't move me, don't shake me. Criticism I would have been what you do on social media, that's nothing compared to what happens in the village. Criticism that I face in the village. But what I'm speaking about is, look, we are a small community. Let us just like how we had a fruitful. I see this as a fruitful meeting, right? But until you get into the position, you will understand what
it is fruitful. But like, all right, you say that we spent around $15 million.
But I'm speaking about you. At least you have the truth. You have the truth, which is important to be here and to have the truth. We didn't hide. We didn't hide it. We didn't say, look, that isn't accurate. It's the truth. That is why I'm saying, we should be here and discuss and have the truth. If your opinion is that we squander out $8 million, that is your opinion. But it's the truth. We give the report. We give the report. It's honest. It's accurate. So I'm speaking about relationships that the village do have. And like I said, why I said it's fortunate for the village council and the sports sector, especially to be where it is right now, is because of donors and sponsors. Right? Now when they read somebody's opinion or view or a video on social media, there's nobody here to say, no, it's not true, it's not like that, let me explain. They actually believe what is posted up here. I'm not going to go on social media and argue with nobody. I'm not that person. I'm not to make a point on social media. I'm not going to on social media. Come here and we deal with the issue here, we let you know, we give you the facts, the truth, and that's basically it. And I've been doing that all along. I barely respond to social media.
Excuse me, Kushal.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right. What Aldo is saying is that he tried to expose it, but we, the community, or we, the person that benefited from these donors, feel the impact, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to go continue making social media public, it's not public to Singapore, right? It's public to the world. Facebook is public to the world. Social media is public to the world. So now, if you're going to go and telling people, I believe, and that is word, and I just put this, I believe. You don't have a fact that this is it, or this is what is happening. You believe, right?
Yeah.
I believe is just that something that I believe. It's not what's happening in the community, or is the fact that is having bad impact on me, on the response, right? So, if you're going to continue making social media negative impact on the community, donors won't be there. And I understand that. It's not very hard to understand certain things. If you listen, you understand, right? So if we continue to do this stuff, our children will not be benefiting from donors out there.
And I totally agree with you, because
we are very small. We are not to have.
yeah, I know what you're saying. Look, we
Oppositions are not there for us. Guyana is very big. Singapore is very small, right? So if we're going to live bad with each other, our children are going to pick this up and live like bad with each other every day. So social media people who are doing social media,
I try.
who are upholding social media, I'm not demanding you to stop, but I'm begging you to please stop.
I truly believe you, Rahul. Look, it's the truth of the old man. I'm addressing something that is hindering the community, not hindering me. I don't receive apart from my.
Individual is using the word scamming. We gain a boss. We have an upcoming guest house. We are not scamming out money. There are things that there that will be seen, and I believe there are records for the stuff. So
That's right.
scamming it out, I believe you are using the word wrong. The meaning of scamming does not reflect on these things that happen.
Yes, Ralph. I want to say something. How about, let's say something is bothering me, then, and meet with the village council, were the village council willing to meet with people, to discuss things that are bothering them? Then, instead of, all right, as what you're saying, it is hindering the image of the community, but Alvaro too has a point, and both sides, if you look at it, it's like a win-win situation, right? So, what I can suggest then, I don't know, if anything is bothering not only, I don't want to say
Residents, say residents, yeah.
do you want us to meet in a group or one person or how? Will you make time to do that village council?
However what it takes for us to be on the same page and be clear in this misconception, we definitely, will do that. Like I said, I think that our business should be in touch, look, if you do have if you see we are not, doing anything in how you want us to do it, but then there's the ministry there. That is the best place to go and make your complaint. If you have a complaint, write your letter and take it to ministry. With that way you won't hamper no relationship with the village council and sponsors and owners. That is the right place to take it. take your issues. If you know we are not functioning as a body we supposed to, take a letter, complain to the ministry. I'm speaking about relationships, I'm speaking about the young people benefiting. And we are, I can go on and say how good people have been good to not from here to the village, but to the village.
Just before you close, how can you get the issues? You're thinking about the youth of today that they live in school. Now what I'm thinking about that if you can get a technical training center for these youth, because they're often done up and they can do something to help themselves. That can develop our community here. Yeah, a technical training center where they can learn different, type of, trades and different things.
I'm glad that you could raise it up, Mr. Kelly. We having currently, we started a course already, so it will be an ongoing course. So right now they're doing a 4 months right in the village. When we had courses go out into Pakuri college to spend so much, a year or two to have this training. Now we have in the same institution coming in the village and provide the same training, capacity building training, skills training to our young people. So we have 16 of them right now doing that general building construction training. After that, they will go on to another course and another course. So it's an ongoing, it's more of a permanent program that is
this is going to be very helpful and good for the development of our
But providing a building to do the training is definitely something that we will be looking at next year and do a proposal at some minister or so on. If there is no other questions, well then
another one is that for the ladies too, that they got training, home economics. They could learn to do the cooking and nice food and different things like that. So they help themselves.
We know food is needed. So the same institution providing the same training. So next year we have like 15 or 16 women taking the same catering and cake decoration course. So again, it's already in the village. It's just now to see it come to reality or fruition or whatever you want to put the word. But it's here already, and we just have to support the program, and hopefully we can be a more sustainable, developed community in the next few years from now. With that being said, any time for comment, thanks to the sergeant for being here. Oh my gosh. Yes, come.
In order to really move forward, we need effective communication, both sides, people, with them. And the same thing with village council. Transparency and documentation. Once those things are put in place, all right, you get whatever it is being documented. So we have to try, and I know that, well, as you're here, you said you must start within.
So
that's it, and I wish you all success in whatever you do, projects or whatever,
So we noted that there is an issue, communication and information to the village. So if we do have a something pop up between now and the next meeting, we definitely call a public meeting and we'll deal with the same thing, rather than to wait 3 months after. Alright? So thanks for coming. Do enjoy.